This is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new action-adventure movie Jurassic World Rebirth. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand-drawn. I love to draw and talk about movies, and I thought what a great way to create a unique channel doing both. So help make my dreams come true so I can do this full time. Like, subscribe, and feel free to share this with your friends so my channel can become official someday. So this movie stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, and Mahershala Ali. It is directed by Gareth Edwards. This is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailers. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. So the plot involves Rupert Friend, who hires a gang to help him retrieve DNA from 3 of the biggest dinosaurs in order to create a drug, sell it on the market, and make billions. You know, it's always got to be about money, right? Nothing complex, just how the gang gets from A to B and the hurdles along the way before getting to B. We've seen it a million times, but can they make that old formula fresh and entertaining? And the answer is a big fat no. This is one of the many and biggest letdowns of the summer. This, Superman, F1, and so on. Talk about a summer of blockbusters that aren't popcorn worthy. Like, what is going on, summer 2025? All right. Every time a new sequel comes out, I'm like, I don't think dinosaurs really like humans. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe I'm picking up. So, I had to watch this to review it, and I did want to see it, even though the trailers were average. And I'm still recovering from the last trilogy, especially the third film. I'm just emotionally scarred to this day, and I think I just need more time to heal. So, this is getting mixed to bad reviews. It is a well-made film, but that doesn't mean it's any good. Being well made doesn't always make it entertaining, and that's my biggest issue here, the pacing. For 80% of the runtime, I was bored out of my mind. Yes, I was invested with what was going on, and a part of me kept saying, I think something big is about to happen. I think it's right around the corner any minute now. But that big something to pull me in never really happens. And the first big action sequence actually comes in about close to the 1 hour mark. And then things taper off a bit. And as things are leading up to the first sequence, the audience is introduced to a family. And I'm glad all of these actors got to work. But if you took the family out, it wouldn't have made any difference at all with the plot. They were literally jammed in here to have certain things line up in Act 3. And speaking of Act 3, that is where everything gets turned up. And it's so unfortunate because this is a very long film. And they're talking for close to 2 hours. And the last 20 minutes is dedicated to all the action, the chases, and so on. It's all the goodies that we hoped would have been sprinkled throughout during the last 120 minutes. And if you and your kids are here for dinosaur action, then you're out of luck because it's only happening at the very end. And for a dinosaur movie, there sure aren't a lot of them here. Okay. Next is the acting. Everyone is fine, but the script doesn't give anyone much to do, and then certain characters reveal personal info about their past, and I'm not sure why. If that was character development or an attempt to make the audience care, it failed miserably. Everything is wash, rinse, and repeat, but with a new cast, and hopefully the audience never picks up on it because when it's a fresh coat of paint, we forget what it was before, right? Like, how many times can we watch someone go to the same island and calamity ensues? You can keep doing that, but can they elevate things, raise the stakes, throw in tension and excitement along the way to entertain audiences? Nope. Not happening here. There's also a dinosaur in Act 1 in Manhattan, but it gets completely glossed over. There's also something comedic, and it wasn't meant to be, but one character gets killed by a dinosaur, yells, and the 2 closest people didn't hear it, but everyone else further away did, and runs to save her. Like, really? Delayed reaction or bad editing. Like, how are you the closest, but you don't hear a thing? You know what I'm saying? Okay. On a side note, another movie critic mentioned the problem with this movie is nobody cares about dinosaurs. Everyone was here for the money. That is like saying the problem with this movie about hookers is that none of the hookers cared about hooking. Like, really? Did this critic ever see Pretty Woman from 1990 or Honora from 2024? Those characters didn't care about hooking, and Honora won an Oscar. So I thought that was such a bizarre comment. If the characters are driven by the mighty US dollar, then so be it. Lastly, I have to say the CGI here is very questionable. The dinosaurs in the daytime were pixelated and glitchy, and it makes one wonder, like, where did the blockbuster budgets go? Very bad green screen for a 2025 film. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and this gets a 5 out of 10 from me. I don't have any real positives to say except it is a competently shot and well-made film, but it's just so boring. It reminds me a lot of Gareth Edwards' last film, The Creator, where it starts off very slow and everything picks up in Act 3. The only thing is, it worked there, but it doesn't work here. There's nothing special about this movie, and I wish I could have walked out and at least said I was entertained, but nope, not here. Big pass from me. Jurassic World Rebirth, huh? What rebirth? This is not a green light from me, and this is not even streaming worthy. So thank you again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. Hit the thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with your friends. Leave your comments below. And if you happen to have a movie you'd like me to review, please let me know. I'd be happy to watch and illustrate it for a future video. Thanks again, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.